This time, guys, we've got a cafetiere sesh. This week we are rolling in a little early. We're a couple of days out now from the Wyndham 10k race at the weekend. First time we'll be doing an all-road based 10k since the Snetterton 10k back in July. So I'm quietly hoping for a really good time this time around. Hopefully the weather holds out. It is due to rain at the weekend, but I'm hoping that wind feels all right and it's not too breezy and we can still run a fast race. Early in the week, I had the intention of hitting a really heavy leg session out on the Monday, but this was off the back of 22, I think, kilometers, 23 kilometers, something like that over the weekend. 2 running days, a long run on the Saturday and then a social run on the Sunday, and my legs were not feeling it. It was one of those days where you rocked up to the gym and I was like, I do not want to do that. It was busy as hell, and pretty much in line with what I've been doing here is listening to my body, and I decided I still wanted to move. I still wanted to get involved in doing a little bit of activities. I'd already got to the gym, and I know that exercise makes me feel better. So I did decide to have a play around with some bodyweight exercises and also just grab a kettlebell, see how I feel, and just crack on, really. Feeling a little bit more up for it on the Tuesday. I hit some heavy presses and some heavy pulls. Really enjoying both my pull-ups and my overhead work at the moment, as well as getting a nice solid pump on up in those shoulders and arms on that Tuesday session. And then Wednesday, dropping into some heavier legs, opting for some heavy step downs and then dropping into some RDLs and heavy calf raises. I started the session quite optimistic. I wanted to have a play around as well with some jumps, some bouncing, and really just enjoying getting back to kind of like some playful stuff at the beginning of training. Not realizing how many contacts I'd done leading into this warm-up. The interval session that I hit afterwards was quite a tough session. The Coffee Run Club social interval session, a 7-minute effort at tempo and then 14 times 1 minute at kind of somewhere between the 5 and a 10k pace. This was the last hard run that I would have done leading into this 10k race. And then the back end of this week, I've spent some time on the bike doing some kind of light aerobic stuff, focusing the majority of my training in upper body at the back end of this week. Visiting Aura Coffee with my mum this week for the first time. Some good coffee and a nice little sandwich there. And I might say as well, I have maybe borrowed this little coffee beermat, definitely coffee mat, beermat, whatever, as an affirmation card, which they had on their tables. Really, really sweet. But I found that this little card here really spoke to me, and it's something about that kind of a journey of growth as a person and not being afraid of those things that perhaps could go wrong in favor for that anticipation of the things that could go right. This little coffee beer mat here will be living on my desk. Super excited for this Wyndham 10k local. I'm probably going to take a jog down to the 10. Anticipation of a time somewhere in the region of a sub 43 is something that I'll be looking for. I'm going to be running this one with my brother as well. So should be a nice solid all road 10k to round out this kind of like end of winter training period before leading into this half marathon the following weekend. Still putting that emphasis on just enjoying my training, getting these 2 races out of the way, and just having a bit of a fun rock up and see style of training, thinking like, this is what I feel like training today, knowing that like at the beginning of the week I wanted to lift heavy but then just couldn't, but still managing to get something in the bank, still managing to get some training done and contribute positively to that mental health and getting moving, because I know that makes a big difference to me, as well as maintaining this physique and creating this readiness to do both the 10k this weekend and the half marathon next weekend. That is all for this caffeine, kilos and kilometers, guys. We'll check in next time post race to have a little chat about how the race went and how I'm feeling and what I'm doing with my training leading into the half marathon next time.